try to wrap up major takeaways from our panels, as our distinguished panelists raised important challenges to consider and innovative solutions we can apply to tackle various problems related to political integrity, etc. So for the first panel, our panelists, we had the global panel as the first one, paid attention to the importance of the energy transition and the role of the EITI to help countries to go through this transition. It was mentioned how important it is for the process, civil societies not to be left out, and the knowledge they can share and expertise with the relevant decision makers. Except knowledge, key roles of the civil society tools were emphasized. It was inspiring to hear experience of Slovakia, and thanks to Zuzana, in terms of beneficial ownership, transparency, and the multi-stakeholder cooperation to support the reforms. At last, the role of transparency of the extractive industry in preventing corruption and the effort of EITI and Publish What You Pay was extremely helpful to hear. This is about the first panel. During the second panel, we had a chance to know more about the challenges of Eastern Partnership countries, what they had in terms of ensuring sustainable management of natural resources, and what is more important, success stories. Case of Armenia was quite close to Georgia and relatable to my country, which could set a good example for civil society organizations, political organizations, and government institutions. The influence of pandemic restrictions we are outlined as one of the main obstacles for both CSO and EITI to operate fully, but the progress it caused in terms of creating new electronic tools to overcome these obstacles and barriers was also noted. It was important to hear that due to civil society organizations' activities, Georgia had an impact on EITI standards, but regardless of that involvement, Georgia is still not a member of the initiative. Thanks to the panelists for pointing out how crucial it is for Georgia to become a member of EITI, and for giving remarks about the steps all the stakeholders have to take in this process. And our final, the third panel, and thanks once again to my colleagues, panelists of the last session we had, and Mariam for introducing the Georgian case and moderating the panel. It was underlined the importance of coordinated approach by civil society organizations, shared responsibilities, and unified advocacy campaigns for strengthening the transparency of state organizations and increasing the social responsibility of commercial entities. The role of local coalitions and networks is important, as they ensure public support for particular reforms. At the same time, they create venues for different stakeholders to get engaged in the implementation of particular reforms. The panelists also highlighted several challenges their coalitions and local activists and organizations are facing locally, and it is important for us Georgian colleagues to consider in advance, as we also plan, as we really plan to accelerate our advocacy efforts to advance transparency and accountability principles in the energy sector. To sum up, I hope it is all, and I covered most of the takeaways from our panel discussions, and many thanks to my team for actively following what was said during the conference and preparing this takeaways for me to present. So many thanks to my team. I think we had a really interesting exchanges, and I want to once again thank our distinguished panelists and moderators for their excellent contributions. Our gratitude also goes to our donors and supporters, and we are honored to be supported by the global philanthropic organization Illuminate. Also, once again, we are grateful to EITI, Publish What You Pay, and OGP, and their representatives for their great contribution. Finally, the conference would not take place without great work of my team, IDFI colleagues and what the IDFI team really had conducted, including our technical team, interpreters, and anyone engaged in the organization of the forum. Special thanks to Teona Turashvili, who was on the contact of all the panelists and speakers, and she was the inspiration of this event. So with this, the third Good Governance Forum for 2021 is over. Hope you enjoyed it. We will be back in next year. And thank you for your participation and interest. Hope to see you at Good Governance Forum 2022. But before I leave you, don't forget, tomorrow there will be another interesting conference, which is hosted by the Open Government Partnership, and the title is close to what we have been discussing today. What the next for beneficial ownership transparency after the Pandora Papers, leveraging the OGP Global Summit and Summit for Democracy to drive up global ambition. This is the discussion that will be held tomorrow and hosted by OGP. See you next year, and thank you very much for your attention and for your participation. Stay healthy, what is the most important.